Welcome to another EBX discussion. Thank you, my soldiers and soldierettes, and I give honor to my ancestors and those that transition. May they rest in peace and in power. And I place that gold over us. May all of our families prosper and everything we touch turn to gold. And brothers and sisters, I don't care what we going through or what you've been through or what's before us. Express, and I want us to have that unshakable confidence. And I want us to guard our spirit with every fiber of our body, no matter what. Because these times are getting crucial. And it's getting real out here. And we have to do things to study our brain to make sure we stay sane and stay aware. Because there are things that are around us, soldiers and soldierettes, that don't want us to have that unshakable confidence. So know what to absorb, know what to observe, and what not to absorb. Only absorb things that will make you grow, that will make you better, and that will give you the gift of teaching those that you are connected to. Never give up on those that want to be helped and want to see better things in their lives, because always be led by that greater, higher force, the higher supreme being. Never get to a point where don't even think about being confused. Always stop. Always be analytical and know who you are at all times. Because sometimes in this life, now, not everybody now, I'm just saying some. Because one thing we can't do, ladies and gentlemen, is take everything personal from person, place, or thing. Really take the time to figure things out. Because studying, ladies and gentlemen, and always going down that rabbit hole, so to speak, will always give you that spirit of unshakable confidence. And once it gets in you, now this could take years, this could take time. You know, I always say, look up things. Look up that word confidence and get the real meaning of it, other than just saying it, so it'll get into our spirit and get down in there. And let's really learn what confidence is all about. Unshakable, unstoppable. There's no such thing as impossible in a super empath's world. No, it's good to listen to the outside world. We can get great things from the outside world, but be very, very careful, my brothers and sisters, what we take in to our system. And always, always be super, super, super duper self-aware. Because when you're not paying attention and you do get distracted, little things can seep into our minds. We have to be very, very careful, because we have things sometimes right in front of us that's trying to seek into our system. And there are things that come aggressive. Some things come subtle. Study psychology. You look that up also. Get into psychology and knowing the mind, the body, the spirit. Take the time to study those things. And what I always say, folks, not only in ourselves, we study it in others too. Let's take this to a whole nother level. Let's take our mind and our body and our soul to a whole nother level. Because it's unfortunate that you have person, place, or thing a lot of times in our lives, that won't take what we know. And like I say, I know you have those that quote unquote might be fake out there, but one doesn't look for the fake. Let the fake reveal itself. In any event, even if we make a mistake or we fumble, ladies and gentlemen, if we are authentic within, that divine will glorify that righteous spirit that we have. And that's what sometimes we get away from. We get mixed up in the human feelings. And what I say about human feelings, folks, never listen, never rely on the feeling of the flesh. The human flesh ain't shit, and we see that all around us, as well as impulses. But I ain't gonna get too far into that because study impulses too. Like I say, study everything. And when you study everything, this is how you will formulate and become and have an unshakable confidence. And I don't care what the fuck going on with, whether it's with you, your family, your children, your job, anything in life that's important. You guard your spirit, whatever you're entering, whether it's negative or positive. Guard our fucking spirit at all costs, because there's a lot of entities out here just running rampant, and it's a lot of evil entities that are in individuals. I ain't saying everybody now, but when you're empathic and when you've been studying, when you've been on this spiritual walk for a long time, you get really good at reading person, place, or thing. And you have to be very, very careful. That's why I say study psychology, study things about the mind, what makes the mind tick. And it will make your challenges more, how should I put it, almost simple. You will start to see more clearly, so to speak. You will begin to step back and be like, and things won't affect you as much now, but you have to take the time and study these things, whatever it is, and always go what, ladies and gentlemen, deep. Anything that has to do with life and breathing life and coming up with a solution is always best to go deep and find out what it is. Because once we jump off a wrong impulse, ladies and gentlemen, especially if it's a toxic one or a bad one, or if it's a life-altering one, that's why it's important to study impulses. You will always and forever hear me speak on impulses. You'll hear me talk about it in my music, podcast. I'll always talk about impulses. And why do I always talk about impulses, folks? Because that's the one thing that got me, myself, and many others, I'm sure, guys that will get you in trouble. So that's why you study impulses, study psychology, look up the word psyche, get the real meaning of it, which is a really deep spirit within. That's our psyche. Study our psyche at all times, small or big, it doesn't matter. Because there's things around us that can quickly take us off course and alter us and detour us and have our minds, going, thinking. And that's why we have to stick with that divine. The divine has to say overall, that greater creator, Mother Nature, that this is what will always center us, ladies and gentlemen. Always remember that greater force, Mother Nature, has to say overall. I don't give a fuck what nothing tries to do. I don't want to say nobody because I don't make it personal, because there's spiritual attacks coming from all angles. So that's why it's important to protect our spirit at all fucking costs. No joke. Because if you're not guarding your spirit, now I'm talking about in the mix of challenges, mistakes, and I want to let one know. Now, I don't claim to be this big perfect person. I might do things sometimes people don't like, or I might say something someone don't like, or I might say something incorrect. That's a part of being a human being. See, when you're self-aware, you understand things like that. And not only do you understand it, guess what, folks? You understand. And you have to be on a certain level to even think that word, because not many of us say that word. And to be honest, I've learned that word, and I've known the word, but I've never used it in my vocabulary. I've actually heard other teachers say it, because what is another tool of this spiritual walk that we must have in our heart that will keep us, even though we have our solitude moments, but it's that one spirit that we have to have in our heart to keep us from being selfish. And that's we have to have that family spirit. We have to keep that family spirit within, even if we're not around anybody and we're by ourselves. Keep that family spirit within. Always try to be, it's always power in positivity. Always power, even when it's not easy. You be positive in the mix of bullshit. It throws people off. They don't know how to react. Do the opposite of what person, place, or thing does. I love doing that. It's a great gift, brothers and sisters. Just embedded that into your spirit. Be right at all times. Let nothing, no place or person, place, or thing take you out of who we are. That is so, I put emphasis on that. Very important. Let nothing in this world, person, place, or thing, take you away from who we are. The unshakable confidence. It is not impossible. The only thing is impossible is you saying it's impossible. Because once you get it into your system, folks, that's when your body say, okay, I guess it is. No, you take over your body. No, you let your mind lead the way, and the body shall follow. Because remember, folks, what I always say, the body always follows the mind. So sometimes you got to say to yourself, excuse my language, sometimes you got to say, fuck that, just to get that, we got to be fearless in our walk sometimes. We know when to be aggressive. We know when not to be aggressive. That's why we study different things, and we'll know when to, because there are righteous impulses. They're not always bad. So you'll be able to see, when you study those impulses, you will see yourself having a lot of victories, small ones and big ones. And you'll start seeing, sometimes you'll get so deep. If you take this serious, brothers and sisters, soldiers and soldierettes, salute. We got to take this walk serious. Like I said, don't mess around with that higher power. If you're going to get on this walk, you got to take it serious. Because what I always say, folks, I have been through the same process. You will get convicted in your spirit, whether you ignore it or not. Remember, being in denial is a hindrance. Being in denial is a super impasse, kryptonite, as well as clout chasing and trying to get attention and trying to hurt someone or hate on someone. Once you got hate in your heart, it's a done deal. Now, I want to reiterate. I talked about a clip I did, and I impersonated the guy I impersonated that I made up is a character I made up called Redneck Bob. And I call him Redneck Bob or Redneck Bill. And it's just a funny skit. But it didn't come from a place of hate. It came from a place of humor. See, but some people get that misconstrued. That's just my humor. I've always had kind of a dark humor, quote unquote. But one knows what's in one's heart. And we see people that do offensive things all the time. So you can't take some little small thing like that. That might be something you have to work on within yourself. That's just an example I'm giving. I can display certain things or do certain things without having hate within. I've never been a hateful person. I don't even say that word. The one that I don't say hate and I don't say stress. So because I know the bigger picture and I know who the real enemy is. And I'm also aware of those that might be within our culture or on the outside of our culture. Because I am focused on the more important things in life. Things that keep us living, our families, our loved ones, things that keep us sane in this world, things that keep us motivated and always elevating to another level in this life. And one powerful way we can get there, my brothers and sisters, my soldiers and soldierettes, salute, is to study and practice that unshakable confidence. Be unshakable. Don't let nothing ever stop your progress. Especially if you've been through a whole lot of shit to get you where we are. You can't let nothing stop that, because the more righteous we are, the more righteous things we do, the more great things that great higher force has lined up for us. And this not just cosmic talk or fairy tale talk. You live it, you'll see it. You have to have that unshakable confidence, and you have to protect your fucking spirit. Let nothing fuck with your spirit, ladies. I mean this. I'm serious. Don't let nothing fuck with your spirit. Even if some from me, just always analyze yourself and protect yourself. Shield yourself and your family and your loved ones, especially your mind. Because once you have your mind right, You're able to teach those that are connected to you. Because remember, always keep that spirit of family and teach that unshakable confidence to our youth and those that are becoming behind us. Never give up in this life. No such thing as giving up. I don't give a fuck what's going on. Real talk. Because there are entities out here that don't give a fuck about us. So we have to give a fuck about ourselves. And that's real talk. So always and forever, look it up if you have to. That word confidence. Because what I say, folks, when you look up one word, you'll find another words in there. Another word. You look that word up and look in there, it be something else. See, that greater force always have something hidden. Remember, that great divine moves in magical ways. So that's why we have to stay humble. And we don't let nobody fuck with us. We don't let nobody put their hands on us. But if they ain't did none of that, if it's not worth nothing, let it go. Let nothing taint your spirit. Stay on course. Remember what started us on this walk to begin with. So again, I say, my brothers and sisters, always and forever, keep that unshakable confidence. Let nothing shake you. You've been through too much shit. Think of all the things that you have accomplished, things that you have conquered, and things that we are conquering as I speak. Real talk, and I mean this. This is from the heart. EBS cares all day, every day. The curse breaker. And guard, like I said, guard our spirit. Let nothing fuck with our spirit. Guard our spirit with every fiber of our body. And I mean this. And that's my thought. That's my real thought. That's my positive thought. And I give honor to your family, my family, to my children, their mothers, reachers and teachers, brothers and sisters all over the world. May you have peace in your part of the world, wherever you are right now. One.